everyone quiet, or am I just not hearing anything?
We were just waiting for that last moment, so you may have just heard us say, "Is everyone quiet?" Or maybe we timed it better and now we're in. But welcome to Captain Reboot. We are doing Tyranny of Dragons, and we are in what is probably going to be the last 2 or maybe 3, depending on how poorly I plan things, sessions of the Tyranny of Dragons. Our group of adventurers have fought their way up and down the Sword Coast, foiling the efforts of the Cults of the Dragon. At this point, the cult has retreated to their lair and fortification at the Well of Dragons, a long extinct volcano, the caldera of which has become a dragon graveyard where ancient worms go to while away the last few centuries before they die. The cult took over it several centuries ago, but kept a fairly low profile. Recently, though, they've been kidnapping villagers, raiding for loot, and gathering up the masks of dragonkind, which have now been used to start a ritual to bring Tiamat back from the Hells. The forces of good have surrounded the mountain and have been growing in strength daily. They've been trying to wait as long as possible so that they can gather more and more strength to crush the cultists. But they know once the ritual begins in earnest, something must be done. They look to the adventurers to act as a strike force while the armies march and do battle, hoping that they can get inside and disrupt the ritual at its core. Uh, Over the last few days and weeks, the party has gathered resources. They've sent out several requests for aid, calling in old favors and occasionally roughing up the youth of the area in order to get what they want. So, a number of those have borne fruit, some of those not so much. And I'd like to just kind of run through what folks have been doing for these last few days leading up to this morning. This morning is when we're going to kick off, and that's when the ritual begins in earnest. But prior to that, a couple of folks have had some work to do. Dawn, we're going to start with you. I know you had sent out a request. Give me a little idea how you did that.
Oh, you're making me think now?
Yeah, I'm going to gotta put you right on the spot.
He needed a ring of spell storing, so he probably would have focused on trying to contact as many spellcaster types that may have been injured, like people that aren't going to actually need, like either can't use it because either they were injured or ill or something or old and just not going to be on the front lines.
Mm-hmm.
And see if he could get a hold of one that way to help him in his limited abilities to hurl magics.
Excellent. So as you send those requests out, one of the primary groups in the area would be the Arcane Brotherhood, of which you did rescue a member from a white dragon some time ago. So those favors are called in and the ring is produced with the, "This is just for today and please don't break it and we'd really like it back, but here you go." Or, for the next couple of days. They understand the war effort is on. So that sort of exchange happens. A couple more people coming and going. And then Dusk. I'm just working my way down the list here. How did your request go, and what were you asking for?
Dusk was trying to get a cloak of protection.
Mm-hmm.
Just for more defense because we're going to go up against such powerful enemies.
Mm-hmm.
But it did not go well.
It did not. Unfortunately, it did not. And I think part of that is because you've already got the reputation of being almost impossible to hit. You've been wrestling dragons. All the stories speak of it. And when you're like, "Could I just have just a little more protection?" They're like, No, you're good. You're good. Thanks for asking, though.
Thanks for asking.
we're gonna give this to someone who hasn't wrestled a dragon recently and survived. Thank you.
Like, yeah, you know what? That's fair.
Uh,
That is fair.
and as we work the way down the list, Joey, I have you up next. What were you looking to find in these last-second efforts?
I mean, Joey's was literally last second. Finding, like, he was planning on getting something to make himself a little bit beefy, get ready for this Tiamat fight. I mean, if you're gonna bring a sword that ate a dragon, and try to put it into another dragon, gotta be beefy and strong. At the last second, a very large hammer that can only be used in two hands appeared for Sister Kuhloe. So he audibled and went to go try to find a belt that could help lift that. So he went straight to the source. He went straight to Wallace, and it happens that really high-level wizards are really good at disappearing when they want to. It's really weird how that works.
They are. So you picked up and shook a poo-smelling youngster and like, where's Wallace? And he's like, I told your sister, I just don't know. And unfortunately, the lead was cold, so no luck there. Which brings us to the sister Kuhloe, next in the alphabet. What did you ask for, and how did that go?
Well, I mean, the shakedown began with the sister trying to shake down Wallace, trying to find out any information about, hey, you took this from me, you could at least give me something else back. She tried to intimidate her way into a belt of giant strength. And I guess he thought that, hey, I bested you once pretty darn easily, and you don't fucking scare me.
Yeah, it's either that or the children that you were picking up and shaking just weren't Wallace. So
Please don't perpetuate that onto this character. She's okay with children, all right? You can't prove anything.
can't prove anything.
No, this child is actually a really old wizard. You don't understand. He's a jerk. He stole me, put me in a bubble, or at least that's the story that I'm telling.
There we go. Which brings us alphabetically here to Mord. Mord, what were you looking for, and how did that go?
Well, Mord has been part of a giant fighting family for generations, so he thought he'd go back to the main family home, try to find something there. He had to wrestle the head of the family for it, but he did manage to get inside of one of their vaults, treasure trove, as it were, and pick out a potion of fire giant strength, which he plans on downing in the right moment.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. Kind of reestablishing your dominance, or establishing your dominance, because I'm not sure you ever had dominance within the family,
No.
and possibly assisting this. Rumors that at some point recently, you had established a relationship with the legendary Hammer Whelm. So your legend grows. Speaking of legendary events, Ruqiyo, how did your efforts go?
Also rather dismally. Do I have free reign here? Because if I have free reign here...
You're pretty good to go.
Alright, cool. We're gonna say, so Ruqiyo was hoping to find a cube of force. It really, really helped with some defense in some episodes past, and I'm like, I can work with that. I can expand on that. This would be so amazing. And someone was like, maybe in a chest back in the attic or something, and there it was a Rubik's cube.
Yeah, it's printed on, kind of one of the corners. It says, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky." So you did find a cube. I love the size for the people who know. But let's see here. Ruqiyo, that brings me down to T for Talace. Talace, what were you looking to do, and how did your efforts go?
I think anyone can hear me. Okay, there we go.
Yep, there we go.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
I'm having a heck of a time with this whole mute thing. Talace went looking for a candle of invocation specifically devoted to Eldath for Valandra. And while everybody was really keen on helping her. They're like, it's for Valandra? Absolutely, we love Valandra, except for this one guy over here who kind of died because of her. That one time.
Yeah.
There just wasn't one to be found. They're like, we've dug through every single old closet and keepsake box. We just don't have it.
It's hard to find things dedicated to Eldath made for burning. It's just a little bit of a mismatch, perhaps. But that brings us down to Valandra herself. Valandra, what were you doing, and how did that go?
Valandra was looking for just something to help protect her sister, Talace, and ended up searching for an amulet of health, so that she could be as beefy as Valandra is. Actually, slightly more. And started with just other people in the faith and just various healer stuff that she knew. And back during the year when we had downtime, she'd done some favors for people the church, and they managed to pull through for a loan for it. So
Awesome. So the Amulet of Health is provided, and Talace looks both stunning and healthy come the morn. Now, prior to the actual morning, I do know a couple of people had some events that they wanted to get fit in, and I did sort of throw a little bit of kerosene onto a fire for each player, just to let you know that the world was continuing around you as this was all going on. So I think Valandra first mentioned that there were some things that wanted to take place prior. So Valandra, if you want to start off with, I guess this would be the few nights prior. This is between, and to let everybody know, summoning demons with the assistance of Dawn to use planar binding to get a contingent of Vrock mounts, effectively. So that's the day job, and then this happens, I guess, towards evening. You were saying? With the sendings, I think.
Yes. So,
okay.
With all the prep they had ahead of time with the demon summoning, and then the night before, or the day before, when Valandra spent the day doing the coming of age rituals for herself and all her siblings, and just trying to make it as much of a celebration as she could, just in case, one or more of us don't make it.
Okay, so was it just that if we're going to die, we're going to die as adults?
No, it's for stuff. It's to get stuff.
No, it was. She was. She was just trying to make it.
I'm pretty sure a
more
lot of us are already pretty adult here.
Yeah.
Was that coming of age thing before or after the demon summoning?
That would have been after.
Okay, I don't think Kuhloe would have participated then.
Okay. But just trying to highlight things that each person done, and just trying to make everyone have as good a time as she can.
Sure.
The night before, and then after that very full day, kind of as night falls, walks out a little bit in the forest and does a couple sendings to her mother. Hi mama, we're gonna fight the cult tomorrow. Maybe Tiamat too if things go poorly. I just wanted to hear your voice. Say goodbye if they don't make it. I hope you're alright and that Eldath was able to set you free. I love you. Valandra.
And do you know that having sent that spell, it almost certainly should have reached your mother, but there is no response. And then as evening settles in and everyone has things happen, eventually morning comes around, and it's a bit of a scramble because some of you have received insights that time is running very, very short. And as dawn starts to break and then the light cascades across the rising mountain, the army can see that a ring of prisoners has been set up just a bit shy of the lip of the caldera. Now, the caldera itself, the surface inside isn't visible. There's sort of a cloudy, murky area there. But around the very top ring... Sorry?
Go ahead.
Okay. Around the very top ring is the dragons, where the dragons have been fighting for dominance and positioning. Below them, several hundred feet away, is the mercenaries and the cultists themselves. And then below them, a few more hundred feet, are the kobolds, just a swarming mass of them. Now, on the map we just brought up, which is huge, and I apologize, the purple rings represent the cave mouth openings that have been identified so far, and the use of Mord's nature spell, which I forget the name of, revealed that the ones on the north and east side link together via tunnels to where you suspect the horn is that is causing so much disturbance amongst the dragons and increasing the strength and ferocity of the kobolds. The tunnels on the eastern side are more interconnected and are more in use by the cultists. Seems to be more of the main tunnels, but they do not seem to interconnect without crossing the caldera itself and whatever exists inside it. There's a very short amount of time, maybe an hour at most now, while the armies reorganize themselves and prepare for the attack. Nimr, the dragon, and several of the leaders of the armies have stopped by for final consultation with you. Based on your insight, your divinations, your plans, where should the main thrust of our attack be so that you have the best opportunity to strike? And there'll be a little bit of a shuffling around while that happens. Have you picked a direction of attack or where you would like the forces of good to attack from?
Oh, portents.
Oh, yep, and get your portents and your rolls in.
Welcome.
I don't know if we had a preferred line of attack in terms of like series of caves, but I think preferred try and come from the north nearest the green dragon.
So you would like to come in from this direction, so the forces of good would attack from the south and west, causing the most amount of distraction down here.
Yeah, I think I know that we also talked
Make
about
the most sense because they have to pull their forces from other.
lizard folk going in the two northern caves, or one of the two northern caves.
Okay.
First, as a Drakhorn push on them, because that's like better suited their fighting style. Does that sound right to you guys? What we talked about last time?
I'm game.
What I recall, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, great. So we're going to have the big army push coming in from the south, drawing as much attention as possible. The dragons, and Nimr's like, yeah, I am going to split so much of my attacks. I'm just going to slaughter him. It'll be great. I really wish you could come, but, we'll get the riding out of the way when I get back. And so, lizard folk will make the attack on the Drakhorn. You'll come in from the north and east, and kind of see how it goes from there. Now, a couple of things to take care of as that's happening. Commanders of the armies are swinging by to get their orders and do things. Among them, the Lady of Daggerford, and escorting her is the Lord High Rider himself. And as the two are stopping by, the Lord High Rider, leader of the Hell Riders, looks over to where Kuhloe is and says, good to see you. I've heard a great deal about you, and I do hope, once this is all resolved, you're planning on stopping by. My friend here, and he looks down, and there's a young half-orc woman who has been absolutely tearing across the ground to keep up with the Hell Riders as she runs. She rushes over to Kuhloe, and she says, I'm so glad I caught up to you. And she just dumps an armload of brochures on Kuhloe, like more brochures for El Terrell than you thought there were buildings. Every one of these brochures has a handwritten invitation from the owner, signed and stamped to please stop by and a free pass. So Kuhloe just like dump all the brochures, or sorry, Ruby dumps all the brochures on Kuhloe and says, I know it's maybe not the best time, but they really wanted you to have this, and I didn't think I could get it done. It was a lot of work, but I think you know, some of my best work. And she turns and she looks over at Dawn and she hands Dawn a junior library card.
My God, that's so cute.
Oh, Rudy, you came through after all.
It's still Ruby. It's still Ruby.
Dusk is so proud of her.
So those are handed off.
Celeste wishes the camcorders were invented.
And sort of as that conversation is going on, at the same time, just a little bit to the side, Lady Daggerford has walked over towards Ruqiyo and
Still
Ruqiyo?
16.
Say that again.
He's still thrilled.
Just before that begins, as she's coming over, Celeste is right beside Ruqiyo, and they're holding hands. Yes, they are.
God, I want to die.
And that sort of makes it hard to stealth unless you're a halfling, because you can't actually hide behind other people unless you have that ability. So she just sort of follows the hands around. She says, "Oh, well, I did say dalliances would be okay. Ruqiyo, have you had an opportunity to think over my offer?"
Oh God. Oh, no.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you when you're talking into her shoulder.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Ah.
We need to have more parties together before I could think about that sort of level of commitment. Wild galleons must be free. Goodbye.
And sort of like
Galleons must be free.
Wild.
Is that what they call it now?
You did a good job. You did good. You got it out. That's what matters.
That's what she said.
Oh my God, I love it.
So Lady Daggerford seems a little, disappointed, but she recovers and she says, "Well, if you get done stallionizing and wish to take me up on my offer, do let me know." And she turns and starts moving away, and sort of as that's happening, like, Talais is sort of backed up, and during this all, like, Nimir's like,
oh really?
Yeah, the Lord High Rider is introducing himself to everyone at this time, and of course, just as he starts going cough, 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 the Lord High Rider is like, "Oh, by the way, my name is Lord," and you hear cough, 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 cough. So that's where that ends up. Let's see here. A few more minutes pass, the armies start getting arranged, and it is time to prepare to set off. Now, I do know the party has had the benefits of a hero's feast. We've got those demons summoned up as mounts. We've got water breathing just in case. Is there anything else that I'm missing? I see the list here.
Many potions.
Who all is getting a mount? Getting a demon mount?
Everyone who wants one.
I've been told they won't bite me, so that's cool.
Yes, so the demons have been pretty thoroughly instructed to follow your instructions to the point where they're not going to act really of their own free will. They will act as mounts unless the instructions from Volandra change. So to prevent all the different shenanigans that demons will do to people. Valandra locked him down pretty tight. You can loosen that up, but Valandra would need to, give the word on that one. The telepathy is in place. Mage tax is paid, and all good to go. And the bunch of potions can be chugged down. I will place the burden of remembering who chugged which potions for which resistance on you. You all feel a little weird in the tummy area.
Mord's
And-
okay.
And Balandra, the simulacrum, used all her second level spells slots and a third level to cast aid on everyone as well.
Okay.
So total for hit points, Talace and Kuhloe should have 24 more than your max is raised by 24, and everyone else and their mounts max HP is raised by 19.
Good. So
Thank you.
preparations are made. The armies begin to march. As they get into motion, you can see there's a few groups that are sort of taking the lead, expecting to bear the brunt of many of the attacks. Coming streaking your way, circling the mount at speed, rather phenomenal speed, are two figures. One is casting a sort of pale golden light. The other one is a startling contrast of a black base and a white top. The golden one grows as you would expect, and by the time it's approaching you, it looks like a human, or humanoid at least, on top of some sort of mount. The other one just doesn't ever get any bigger, and by the time it reaches you, it's only about knee high. The larger of the two, it takes a few moments to recognize, but appears to be Meridia. There's something very, very different and probably wrong about her. Talace has found a way to cloak herself in the otherworldly beauty of the Fae. She wears it well, but she still strikes you as a creature of this world, something that you can reach out and... No, she'll probably deny you, but you'll reach out.
You can
Meridia...
You can wave at her from across the room. It's fine.
You can wave, and that's probably enough to make you blush. But Meridia has gone a bit of a different direction. She's lost herself into the Fae, and as she dismounts from her steed, sort of a golden deer-looking thing, she steps down onto the ground, and her feet never touch the ground. Flowers sprout up and keep her from coming in contact with the soil. Talace, you've spent enough time in the Fae that you recognize that the touch of earth, the touch of iron, must be abhorrent to her at this point. She's gone too far into it. As she steps aside, she pats the mount on the head and gestures for it to move forward. The golden steed moves to stand in front of Dusk and says, "Thank you. I don't need to run from hunters anymore, but I will carry you into battle." As you recognize the golden heart.
Dusk is gonna hug it.
You do so. It is a Fae steed, easily the equal of those unholy rocks, but that is available to carry you into battle should you wish. Meridia, however, presents herself to Valandra and to Talace, and she hands each of them a lily, one to Valandra, two to Talace, and she says, "I'm sorry, but my mistress is ending things now. I apologize for your loss." And she turns and she starts walking away, and as she does, you see her move in and out of the Fae realms very rapidly, covering the distance in jumps until she returns to the far side of the mount. Approaching very quickly in her wake is that black and white streak. This one pulls to a hard stop just in front of the party and hops off of what looks to be a surfboard sort of looking thing, just a
What?
giant like sword-shaped surfboard. It's jet black. The little creature riding it is a solid white, rat-looking individual wearing dark black leather, super white hair, red eyes, and you're like looking at it for a second, like, oh, that's an albino, and then no, that's a dye job. You can tell where just a little streak of the mouse folk's hair won't take to the dye because it's always a stark white. You recognize the individual from posters as the nefarious Moustachio. Moustachio looks up to your group and says, I was told you could lend me some weapons.
I think this is she's like I think this is our cue, and she like hits Mord. I think we're supposed to say things right now.
Who is this person?
So you're looking at this. You're looking at this little white mouse folk, whose fur is dyed brightly white, save for a little white lick.
White patch around her eye.
And they look up at you, and you say, "Who's the person?" And then you say, they respond, "I am the Great Moustachio," and they twirl their mustache, and it wiggles a little bit and almost falls off, and they stick it right back on real quick. Flawless disguise.
As
Flawless.
always. It's great. I'm so happy right now. Talace says, "Yes, I was informed, and oh, Great Moustachio, allow me to transfer use of Wave the Stormbringer until such time as you no longer have need of it."
And the Great Moustachio bows.
Mord. Go.
I don't know this person.
Trust me, you know this person.
I don't know what they're gonna do with it.
The biggest grin on her face right now.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
This Great Moustachio.
Do you have to get the name right, or does it not work? Close.
It's very formal.
You may use Whelm, who mourns blades, for I don't know, you're a mouse. But I mean you can use it.
So Moustachio bows once more and turns and steps aboard what looks to be that black surfboard-like blade, and it calls out, "Stormbringer, Mournblade, to me," and both appear in its hands, and you realize that it is Black Razor that it is riding. And you look down at this little mouse and you're like, what would drive a mouse folk to look this way? The only thing I could think of is maybe if its older sibling had snubbed it in sort of an edgy fashion, and it was like, I'm going to be the most edgy thing ever. I'm going to be an albino in black leather, dual-wielding two-handed swords as I rush into battle, and blood and souls from my lord Ariok. So, Moustachio heads off into battle. From there, leaving the party with as many loose ends as the DM can remember wrapped up.
I'm so proud of our favorite mouse.
So,
like that's gonna be. I wish we could see that, because that's probably badass. Whatever's happening there.
there's a lot of things happening, but that's all the way to the south, and you have your own things to deal with. And part of that,
cameras were a thing.
There will be stories, there will be illusions, but all that has to wait. For to the north and east, northeast and northwest, a band of lizard folk and a band of adventurers are assaulting the Well of Dragons. Now, you do have rocks. Rocks can fly. That can get you certainly over the kobolds. Dragons, however, can also fly. What is the plan? Are we looking at stealth? Are we looking at a bum rush? Are we thinking combat? What's going on?
Let us be dragons. I don't know if it works that way.
Oh, seeming?
Yeah.
Well, I have a spell of seeming, but the dragons would be able to see through it.
They do have true sight.
Ooh, all
They
right.
have
never mind.
they
Dragons are cheaters.
they are old and strong, and they can see through those things.
Think maybe just a bum rush?
Because like, what if we just because kobolds are short, right? They're like
Kobolds are fairly short, yes.
and their reach is only 5 feet, right?
When they're not hucking rocks, but I mean, even then, it doesn't get much further than that.
So like, if we were 11 feet off the ground, we could literally just right past them, right?
Sure, absolutely. Let's go ahead and ask the party to give me some stealth checks. We're just going to work on an average system here. So if one person happens to roll really bad, but everybody else rolls really good, that'll be fine. If everybody rolls really bad, maybe we'll have a bad day early on. So
Okay.
could I have a band of stealth checks, please?
Siblings minus Chloe, remember you have a 4 to all ability checks for the day.
Plus 4.
A
D4.
So, a D4. So when you roll it.
So I'll just turn on bless for that.
Oh, yes, you can just turn on bless.
Oh yeah, I'll just.
I
Turn
need
on
to turn
Bless.
off
That's a
Whisper.
great
It-
idea. That's a
it-
great idea. I'll just do that.
It's guidance, not bless. But
It's the
Yeah,
same
it's the
dice
D4.
though.
Yeah, it's the D4 button.
okay.
But that is not those of us, not you guys.
Oh Jesus.
14. Ha.
Jesus, Valandra!
That's not even Balandra who has to do it at disadvantage.
Can I just say I love Balandra, the Blerick of Beldath, by the way.
These things happen sometimes, it's the
Great.
E-team. I didn't think I'd actually have to look and see what the passive perception of a kobold was, but now I'm gonna actually have to look, and of course my roll 20 just exploded. That's awesome. Thanks, roll 20. That was me though. I hit the wrong button. So kobold, show me your passive perception.
Were these all just straight rolls for everybody? Except
Kobold's
for...
passive perception is 8.
8. So let's see here. 15 to 11, 17. We're going to go with you skim by. They notice you, but they think you belong there. You're all sort of hunkering down behind the demon's wings, and they're like, okay, demons, we're the bad team. Probably okay to be there. And you make good on your crossing. Now, the lizard folk away to the north and west are not doing quite so well. They don't get through scot-free, but they are making their way in an organized rush, staying low to the ground, hitting one spot and blasting through. So you believe both of you will at least make it to the tunnels. Now, of the tunnels in the north and east, which would you like to go for? And the 3 that you could reach, due north, north-northeast, northeast-east.
I forget. Do we know anything about them particular? Do they
Hang on one second. All 3 of the the 2 northern ones would connect to the same set of tunnels as the
northwestern one.
Yes, as the northwestern one. The easternmost would connect to the other set of tunnels.
Do we have an opinion on which set of tunnels we want to enter?
One of the first 2 in the northeast, which get well,
They should both lead us to the same place, right?
I was gonna say, if we do one of these 2, then do we want the lizards to do that one?
well, the
lizards
reason
are
that we
doing
would
this one.
Yeah,
that
so
one, okay.
the lizards are coming in over here. If you come in either of these 2 tunnels here, you will be acting sort of as a pincer attack to the same network of tunnels. If you come to the other set, then it will be 2 separate attacks on 2 separate sets of tunnels.
Yeah,
I
I think
need
we want
to
to take the
say
most
it.
eastern one.
Do you? Okay, because otherwise I was thinking that the serpent folk were just gonna, like, squish somewhere in those tunnels and, like, I don't know that they can handle a whole side of the mountain by themselves.
But the lizard folk are survivors. They're just gonna, fight and then eat and then run and retreat. Like we told them to be skirmishers, not
Okay, alright.
Flat
in that
outers.
case, yeah. This would be basically the side that's not being addressed, so, yeah. I'm okay with that.
I mean, there was that, but there's also the fact that we don't take damage from the green dragon.
Or
From
the
their
breath
poison
weapon.
breaths, anyway.
Got it. So you're starting to make your attack. You're on approach. You're working out your last couple of strategies, kind of calling audibles as necessary. Away to the south, you can see the battle has engaged, and things are going actually remarkably well. The forces that you've gathered are making great headway against them. You can see they're just driving through the kobolds. The kobolds are scattering before them. They are making their way up the hill. They're actually approaching the point where they're hitting the cultists. The cultists are sort of parting out of the way. They're charging. You can hear bugles being sounded, trumpets, horns. It seems like victory is there. And then you hear a rumble, and you start to see just water erupting from the side of the mountain. At the same time, loose earth is being thrown up, and elementals just begin a massive trudge down that's picking up speed. Soil, water, all being produced in massive quantities, creating this enormous landslide heading right to the main body of the troops. It's a bit too far away for you to do anything, but just watch as this whole host of folks are about to be washed away. Then, on your side, massive amounts of fey creatures sprout up. Treants, plants begin trapping down and breaking this up. And through it all, you can see the battle raging backwards and forwards, dragons tearing into each other in the skies above, the kobolds swarming on either side. It is an absolute mess down there. The mages that are floating in the center of the caldera, watching it all. The 10 look to the 11th in the center. The 11th looks to a figure beside them. That figure's wearing a mask, 5 masks, one on each part of its face, sort of creating a 5-headed arrangement so that in each direction you see a color. The dragons stationed around the edge of the caldera turn away and face towards the center. You can see them spread their wings, possibly a gesture of homage, and then their breath weapons are unleashed, engulfing that figure wearing the mask. The mask draws in all that raw energy and then begins to split, tearing the figure wearing it into many directions. The mages look on, begin incanting their spells and slowly lowering down. In the areas surrounding the lip of the caldera, you can see the cultists begin bloody work, sacrificing prisoners. Caves are still a little ways away. Does this influence your direction at all?
If we change now, we're just gonna waste any work
chance
that's
we
been
have.
done for us.
Yeah.
We've got to let them do their jobs. We have to do ours.
All right, you drive towards the caves, and which was the ones that you had picked? Easternmost one. Second set of caves, got it. As you continue your efforts down there, you can see figures standing out amongst the battle. You see Unthar rise and fall several times. You can tell because his enemies tend to fly up in the air a little further than most others. The forces that Leosin pretend to surrender, and then they start to attack. It's a little chaotic. But
very French.
It's just a little. He's got his own ideas about how battle works, and he tries to bring it to every game. The tide still turns against the cultists, and as you're sort of heading into the caves, your last looks, as you can still see before you have to commit to going into the caves, you see the central figure, Rathmodar, turn and look back, and he begins to speak, and you can't hear him at the distance. His voice does not carry that far, but two words do. You hear him gesturing, having conversation, and then "I wish"
Oh, shit.
booms throughout the air. One of the water elementals in the mix, a Merid, rears up, and she gestures. Storms begin creating in the sky above.
No.
This storm isn't like anything you've seen summoned. Maybe you've heard legends about a storm of vengeance. Hundreds of feet across. The air is building, and you know that when this detonates, many, if not all, of the prisoners are going to die. Certainly some of the cultists, but so many. And then, just before she can finish, a spear drives through her watery body. The harpoon is yanked back,
Oh my god.
and she's drawn to where the sailor greets her.
Oh my god, I knew it! I knew what you were doing, you bastard!
Standing beside the sailor, the fey creature. The three of them fight and battle, and by the time you all emerge, it will be over, and their story will be done. But the cave is ahead, and the cultists await. And everything should go dark, and then you should see the outline.
You need a hug?
Not right now. Not right now. Actually, as they're like going in, and that's the last thing she sees, she actually just throws up a prayer quickly and angrily and loudly to Timora and goes, "Stay with that bastard. I have so many things to say." And we both need to be alive to say it.
Well, to himself, Ruqiyo thinks. Maybe not really. Not useful here, though.
All right, and go ahead and feel a bit of the area here and get myself caught up. So, the tunnels are about 10 foot around, flattened a bit at the bottom, but they are obviously lava tunnels. The little bit of carving that's been done has just been to reduce the absolute worst of walking in what used to be a lava tunnel. Riding your Vrox and mounts in there is probably going to be difficult, if not impossible. But you can certainly have them follow along with you.
That's fair. It might open up at some point. Caverns
Certain-
exist.
I mean,
Certainly a
they're
possibility.
there so we could reach the wizards once we get to the middle. That's their purpose. So
Sounds good. So,
Dawn is not up front.
no, sorry, I just dropped all the tokens there. So, if you can arrange yourselves in the way that you would be, and then let me know where the Vrox, Elmar, and the Heart would be in the mix.
Try not to have Elmar take up too many spaces if people want to get in behind.
The
But
rocks are probably in the back because we need them later. They're not
Okay.
really
Yeah.
fodder.
So then I will keep them in the rear up here. These cultists, we're going to move back a little bit for convenience sake here.
Just,
Eh.
it's gonna
Does
be
anyone
hugging
else see me?
her for so
I
long.
don't see Ruqiyo on the map.
Did my copy paste not get Ruqiyo? Hang on here.
I
No, I do
don't
not see
see
Ruqiyo.
him unless he's underneath someone. But I think
No,
so.
that's
He is not.
my copy paste. There's a
And
One
Ruqiyo.
of us has to be difficult.
Thomas, do you have control of Balandra?
Yes, I do. Sorry, I was still.
Elmar's gonna
Alrighty.
stand next to Joey, who I think is like going for the middle of the pack.
I'm trying to be flexible.
Sounds good. So you've made it over the kobolds, over the mercenaries, heading into the caves. Above, that great storm that was building has dissipated a bit, and yet the cultists continue their work. There's a horrid sound coming from the center of the caldera. The lava tubes are about 10 feet around, giving you enough room to walk without too much trouble. Inside, you can see several cultists are keeping an eye out, maintaining guard, and occasionally running orders back and forth. They can't see you yet. You're approaching from one of their blind sides, but they will be able to see you as soon as you round the corner. Is there any stealth being attempted, or is that just silly?
Don't
for the
think we can
horse, a bunch
stealth in
of
a
rocks.
10-foot corridor.
Yeah, Chloe's not trying to be
I
stealthy.
feel like that's
Well-
probably silly at this point.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We've got a giant horse, a bunch of rocks, two
Where was that
Valandras.
2 Valandras, that's enough right there. That works.
Like, and at the end of the day,
and the other
We've-
Valandras not in as good of armor as, as the real
we've all gotten a lot stronger. We've all gotten significantly stronger and amazing. And at the end of the day, our average on stealth rolls is still 10, the nice flat average. So let's go ahead and cut the middleman out there.
Yeah.
Very fair.
Agreed.
The time
I
for
did-
stealth
I
is
was like,
done.
I was like,
You
I'm doing
guys-
that. I posted it.
The one thing that we have to take advantage or to just take note of is yes, our party has no stealth. But if you were the one stealthy person in a group that is full of Valandra, they will aim for them and not you.
Full of Valandra. I love it.
Oh my god. Oh wow. Okay.
So,
we just get this out of the way. Is that
yeah,
what
if
that
everybody
means?
can please go ahead and add themselves to the turn order there.
Also,
And then-
for people who have the D4, that would technically apply to initiative, but it's not going to automatically add.
Okay, so I need to add another D4 to my initiative.
Yeah.
I don't need it. Oh my god, what the heck? Okay, there you go.
Also, has everyone added their max hit point?
Wow, Dawn is
Boo.
just not paying attention today.
I
Yeah.
sure
6
did.
again?
You got a shiny new ring, didn't you, Dawn?
Yeah, I had so many hit points that I had to add on that I had to make a notation on my other parts of my character sheet to remember what my real hit points are.
Right, so
We did this last time. How much was
It's
the
like
max hit point?
0.12 is not.
19 for you, Ruqiyo.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Balandra, don't see on the turn order.
I believe she goes on Talace's
Yes,
turn.
she goes on my
Oh,
turn.
she goes on your turn. That's right. Thank you for that. Which means Balandra and Talace, what are you up to?
Well, because I don't have access to the character sheet, she may go on my turn, but Thomas is going to control her.
Oh, no problem. Do you want me to give access or don't bother?
I don't even know how to wield a cleric, so I'm just
No
letting
problem.
Thomas do
Yeah,
what
I think
Thomas do. So if you want to go first, since it's on my turn, you can, Thomas. I don't know what you want to do.
Sure. Yeah, Balandra is going to question. Yeah, we'll just cast Bless on Mord, Kuhloe, and Valandra.
It's good.
Cool.
Mord, Kuhloe, and Valandra.
Valandra.
Sorry. That's gonna. I shouldn't have done that.
But
That's
enunciate the
So you get extra rolls now.
extra.
Jesus Christ.
Where?
Do it.
Oh, there's the wrong side.
You got it. So, as these things happen, Talace, so Bless is cast. Anything else for Balandra?
Nope, she's gonna stay guarding the back.
You got it. Talace, what are you up to?
Right. So we're foregoing all stealth, right?
Yep.
All right. So I can see this dude, right?
Oh yeah.
This one that's right there in the front. Yeah, I
Yep.
can totally see this guy.
So you sort of like round the corner, and you can see them doing like classic war movie thing. Like one of them's got his hand to his head, like apparently he's doing sending, and he's getting reports, and he's handing clipboards off to the other one. The other cultist is running down the hallway. You storm in. They all look over to you like surprised.
So I'm gonna Eldritch Blast this guy in the face. How many times do I roll this?
Three.
3 times.
3 times. You got it.
That's gonna hit. That's also gonna hit. That's gonna hit too. So 15 points of Eldritch damage, straight to the lead fellow's face. Talace, anything else?
I don't know. I don't know. No, I think I'm good.
I think if you don't know, conserve resources for now.
Yeah, that was the plan, is to conserve as many resources as humanly possible. This is why I took freaking Eldritch Blast of my magical secrets.
You got it. Now, as you do that, the one in the lead turns and looks to the other and go for help! It's a raid! And he rushes forward heroically, perhaps in his mind, and encounters Kuhloe. Kuhloe, he will swing. He does get advantage on this first attack. Kuhloe, I don't think a 12 is going to help, though. The second attack, 23 might do.
That does hit.
All right. That is going to do 12 points. 9 points of slashing, 3 points of lightning damage.
Which you should be resistant to.
Yeah, so lightning damage 3 reduced to 1.
Yes. So 10 total points of damage to Kuhloe. And then Joey gets to do something.
Oh, I get to do something. No, he told them to run. I don't want them to run. Do I have to cast a spell?
I
really
think
don't
Mord
wanna
was trying to
cast a
take a
spell.
reaction. Did you say something, Mord?
Yeah, I asked if I could take a reaction as he approached.
Nobody heard you.
Nope. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, the mute got me. What did you need, Mord?
Well, I was going to take a polearm sentinel attack on him as he got within 10 feet.
Okay, then he might not have even made it as far as I thought he did. Go for it.
Yep. So...
Polearm plus.
Oh my god!
God.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot to roll some damage with that. 1 sec.
I forgot to roll some damage with that. Oh my god, what a great.
Hold on, there's a button here that releases spikes, I think.
Okay.
I don't
There we
remember
go.
the message cantrip doing that much damage.
And so he stops 5
That's-
feet further back than that.
That's pronounced massage. That's a heart massage is what that is. So Kuhloe, you don't take 10 points of damage, and a dragon wing just dies right there, just like fuck, duh. And then Joey, what would you like to do?
Oh,
I
these
love
squares
that
are
was your-
10 feet. They're so far away.
Wait, hang on.
Oh, are they not
They're-
10 feet away?
Wait. These are 10-foot squares. Yes, sorry.
Are they supposed to be 5-foot squares?
They are supposed to be 10-foot squares. This is a big map, sorry.
Alright. Cool.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't announce it before, but I'm gonna move my precasted hex, kind of like we did in the Storm Giant fight. Is that okay? I'm gonna crush my little ant guy.
Oh,
You hexed an ant? Oh, that poor thing.
Yeah. And then we're gonna put it on the guy in the back.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and just shoot little lightning things. From my sword that suddenly turns into a bow, because that makes sense.
Zot.
This is Dungeons and Dragons. It doesn't have to. There's the first one.
Counts as a heavy. That is. Oh. He doesn't need a second.
Wow.
The other guy does.
Yeah, the other guy in the back though. This is what we do to runners.
Oh my god!
Jesus!
Sorry, you gotta take off like.
Explode
Yeah,
that
no.
guy's head.
Sorry, you gotta take off like 6 of that damage. My bad.
Okay, that's fine. So
And that
a
guy's
little
not even on
inglorious
the turn
bastard.
order.
Yeah, a little inglorious bastard action is happening here. So you're just like, boom, they're just like zhunk down. Joey, anything else you would like to do?
I mean, I'll move 3 squares. That seems reasonable. Okay.
Sure. Mord, that's gonna bring it around to you.
Lord.
Mord. Okay. Cool. Oh, good. I didn't have rage damage on.
Yep,
yeah,
that was your non-rage damage.
Yep. So I'm. Oh God.
Where
Let's
did
see
the-
if I can do this. I'm sorry. I totally thought.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
good,
he's
that's
so
only
far
30
away.
feet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You can super get there.
All right. Well, I'm still not gonna rage, I guess. But let's see how this goes, huh?
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna go.
Technically, you also had bless.
I,
Oh, I
Yeah.
had it on there.
it's
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, this squad of messengers is just flat out. Now, don't feel bad. They've got bloody daggers. They've got all sorts of the scars. They got tattoos on their hands and faces. These are not nice people, but they're very, very dead. And you did that with an amazing amount of quickness. So it does not seem like anyone else has caught on to that you have arrived yet.
I have a question. How high is the ceiling in the tunnel?
Ceiling in the tunnel is only about 10 feet high.
All right.
So from floor to ceiling is about 10 feet.
Cool. I was gonna try and ride Elmar, but he would have to crouch because wide enough. It's wide enough, but no. Okay.
Yeah, it'd be a little tight in here, to be mounted. So we're gonna drop out a turn order for the moment,
Cool.
I
and
love it. We just we jumped in the tunnels and everybody died.
everybody died. The tunnel goes a little ways to the west. Now these are 10-foot squares, so it's a good 100 feet or so before it bends away to the south. And you'd have to move a little more forward to see it. Mord, you can just make out from where you are that there's some sort of bump or protrusion from the roof ahead, but you'll need to get a little closer, maybe another 20, 30 feet forward to get kind of a look at it.
So is it around the corner, and that isn't or that's the reason why I
That's
can't
the
take a
reason.
look at it?
It's around the corner. You can
Okay.
just see like a little curve that you're like, that's not normal.
We
Okay.
see a bump on the roof, and Valandra pulls out and puts on her cave hat.
Yes.
Still on my character sheet.
Wow.
Gotta watch out for them shriekers. I know, next. Baby ropers. What are they called? Piercers.
Now easier to tell you two apart too. I mean, besides the dead eyes and everything.
There we go.
I think Balandra's hair was also braided. so we
Oh,
could tell
okay.
them apart.
That is helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually a little harder now that they put on the hat, but
I mean, I only had
Yeah.
the one hat, so
now the tunnels are lit, so you are able to see, but you still have to go around the corner before you can see what's happening there.
Yeah, so Mord will start slowly moving around the corner and using his special eyes take a look at that bump
Sure.
on the ceiling. You said it was a stony bump, or
It's sort of a
bump?
protrusion in the stone. You kind of start to work your way around. You get a better look at it, and it's so the tunnel is a kind of a circle cut, like if you can imagine, a tunnel. And then
Mhm.
in the center of the tunnel, there's sort of a semicircular dome protruding down into the tunnel. So the tunnel goes up, and there's kind of a dome down. It's a milky white sort of look to it. You don't think it's stone, but you'd have to probably investigate it up close to really get more than that.
Okay.
Step on it. It might absorb your shoes.
I'm sorry. Did you say it was on the ceiling or the floor?
On the ceiling. On the ceiling.
Okay, so it's coming out from.
Yeah, it's coming. There's like
Just hit it. It's fine.
like a pop-o-matic
So-
bubble on the ceiling.
Yeah, it's like a pimple. Just fucking pop it.
Just pop it.
Just, I'll telepathically message Ruqiyo, I guess,
Yeah.
to have him take a look at it.
All right, let me get up here.
All right. As you start heading up, could I have a investigation from whomever is taking point on this investigation? Ooh, that's a pretty
Plus
strong
a D4.
investigation. Plus a D4.
Well, no, Ruqiyo is too old.
Aw.
Oh,
Yep.
that's Ruqiyo's already all grown up, but doesn't want to get
Yeah.
tied
Yeah,
down.
we're not thinking about
Wild
it right now,
stallions.
so
Wild
yeah, sorry about that.
But up ahead, you sort of like inspecting. You're like, that is the biggest eyeball I have ever seen. I think perhaps you've seen bigger. But
Oh my goodness.
easily 3 foot across, just a big milky white eye staring down at the tunnel.
What has eyes that big that doesn't have a body?
Something that's about to have a hole in its eye. I'm gonna stab this fucking thing. We don't
What
have fucking time for this.
So how
my
if you want to roll a nature or arcana to sort that out, you may. But it sounds like Chloe's taking.
You've got about 3 seconds before Kuhloe just stabs the eye. It's looking at it. It's creepy.
So there's a lot of big-eyed things. You're not sure really what would be put up there to behold something that's directly beneath it.
Oh god. Did you just say what I think you just said?
I
Mhm.
didn't.
He
I
did.
Yeah, you totally
Who
did.
would say
oh god.
that?
Oh my god. Because we need this. This
Can
is
I
totally
just
what we need.
fireball it now?
We should all back up so you can do that.
Or we disintegrate it? I don't-
Did you say what it was out loud? Because that would have instigated us
Well,
to be
the-
stabbed. The wings of his bed.
Hood
Okay.
behold.
It's a purple people eater.
It's a purple people eater. We'll just go ahead and bring this up here real quick. Please go ahead and throw yourselves back on the turn order.
Freaking beholder.
Was it beholding me or? All right, damn it.
So
I think it's sleeping somehow still.
The way it's set up, it is up in a little nook in the ceiling. So someone's carved out kind of a oval into the tunnel roof, and it's up in there. So its central eye is pointing straight down. You don't see the tendrils, and you can't quite see the mouth from this angle because it's the bulbous eye that's sort of pointing down. You probably, if you were to move up into the ceiling, you'd be looking at the top of its head. But what are you all doing? And we'll ask in order. Balandra and Talace, you get to decide first. Are you taking any action?
Talace will hold Eldritch Blast
Okay.
until it does something that she might even interpret as aggressive.
Sounds good.
Balandra will hold a Sacred Flame for the same.
Okay. Mord.
I don't know, man.
You're a barbarian. Do what you do best.
They're inherently.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Yep, I'm playing me, not Mord. Yeah, so he's just gonna take a bunch of stabs at it.
All right. So as you run up and decide to do something energetic, it will respond, and it will respond on 15. There we go. So, Mord, you rush up, and you realize that as you're like about to stab, this eye is indeed a milky white. It's got a dead look to it. But as you start to stab up, it still moves a bit. So, could I see an attack roll, please?
Yeah. You know what? I'll rage here.
Okay.
I'll use a rage.
The most polite rage.
And I'm gonna take 3 attacks at it.
Okay. Wait,
attack,
3?
attack, bonus action.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
Polar Master.
Polar Master.
Was that 2?
That's 3 now. Those are all really solid hits. So I got 17, 36, 44, 51.
17 plus 19 is 36 plus 15.
51, yeah.
Wow.
I can math. Yeah, that's a huge chunk of gooey eye that you just carved out, and it just drops down. But the rest of the beholder, as it begins to descend, is still in motion. Mord, anything else for you?
That was. Mord will back up a bit, potentially taking an attack of opportunity.
Oh, if you do back up a bit, you will potentially take an attack of opportunity. It swings down and attempts to bite you. Wait, wait, hang on. You have a polearm, right?
I do have a polearm, yes.
Polearm has reach, right?
It does have reach.
Did you intentionally step?
I did not step within.
You're fine.
I mean, I was 1 square away, but.
Yep, you're fine. I got you.
10 feet, so.
Yeah, unless you meant to get up close and personal, you're fine. You can back off. Ruqiyo, though.
Yeah, that looks like it needs to burn. But I actually can't. So I can't.
Conserve. Use cantrips.
Okay, so that means I should do shocking grasp. Blunder will love that.
Don't you have firebolts or something?
Don't step up to it.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Alright, slow it the butt. I do have to move a square though.
Tolling the Dead, making a wisdom saving throw. Let's see here. Oh, it passes.
Holy.
It takes no
Alright.
damage.
Back up.
Step
Wise beyond its years. The beholder decides which of its eye stalks it will be using.
Is it making an aggressive motion?
It is about to.
Can we release our held actions?
Pretty sure that triggered
Yep.
held actions. I'll let Valandra go first.
Let's see here. We got a dexterity saving throw, which it fails spectacularly, taking 13 points of damage.
And do I do all 3 of them still?
Yep.
Eldritch Blast. Oh yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Those are all hits. 3, 5, 8 points of damage. It's still a big floaty eyeball. One of the eye stalks targets Mord. You can see this wave of energy come out towards Mord. Then, like, when it hits, the wave of energy goes limp and just falls to the floor, completely ineffective for whatever it did. But it does float forward and try and give him a nibble. Mord, I think you can react to that, though.
I'm sorry, it moved within melee range?
It did move within melee range.
Okay, then yeah, I'm taking a polearm attack.
Certainly may.
To stop its
How has
movement
rage?
potentially.
Oh my god!
17 points of damage.
And it stops 5 feet away.
And it stops 5 feet away, which we're going to represent by 10 feet, but that's really 5. And that's all it can do. Valandra, what are you up to?
So, 60 feet away, so I will move 3 squares closer.
Actually, 55 feet away.
Oh yes, sorry. And that would be a waste. Yeah, I guess I'll just take. Yeah.
Forcing the dexterity saving throw. It fails and takes 7 points of radiant damage. With that, the big ball pops, slumps to the floor, goo spilling out in all directions as the zombie goes to pieces.
I should have fucking stabbed it. I never get to stab anything.
All this time you were working on your muscles, and I was getting faster. That's what happened.
Next time I'm just gonna stab it. I'm gonna stab a thing.
You gotta stab it fast, though. I mean, look how many Eldritch Blasts I can throw.
Less investigation, more stabby stabs.
That's investigation, more stabby stabs. With the security alarm defeated, you find a long tunnel curving away to the south. Eventually, it bends a bit back to the east, and as it does so, you see an intersection with many paths. In the center of the intersection, another one of the Beholder alarms glued into the ceiling. Way down there.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, I see.
And we could just move through
Yeah.
the intervening space.
Yeah,
place
just-
ourselves
Yep,
near.
place yourself where you would like to be as you see that alarm in the ceiling.
I'm in the wall. Just ignore me.
I would like to be in the wall. Boom.
Fine. This is a good distance for Talace.
Oh,
Don
great.
just needs to be able to see.
I'm at the 60.
So he tends to graciously let everyone go
Hey,
before him
Dusk,
in the
you wanna
turn
move your
order.
token up, babe? I'll get her. I can move her token.
Okay. So is the plan to just go completely nuts on this beholder?
Stab.
Okay.
Stab.
I think
Yep.
we're just stabbing it.
Okay.
Stab.
You are all just absolutely stab into the beholder. It's like blah 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 blah, and the beholder falls dead once more. As it lands, it lets out a squelching noise. Blark. And you hear from the north and east, from the south and east, and far in the distance from the south and west, the sound of an alert being raised as one of the beholders is dispatched. Womp.
Well,
And I'm going to ask you to do it one more time here, and this is probably going to be the one that stays. Once more to the turn order, please.
Don't roll an actual
that's more
roll.
normal.
Was that supposed to have +4, right?
Yep.
1d4.
Or
Yeah, that's what I
D4,
meant.
yeah.
Blessed is not for ability. Okay.
Also, almost certainly gone by
Also
now,
gone,
given
yeah.
how far we've traveled.
Yep.
So many things to click.
I'm seeing a lot of low rolls on these dragon claws, and I'm starting to feel sorry for them a little bit.
I mean, they're not nice
don't.
people.
They are. That was.
So, you hear the coughing bark of several dog-like creatures, as well as shouts of alarm.
I am also supposed to be a 21.16, by the way.
You should be able to change that yourself.
I was trying and it was not letting me. I was supposed to be
Yeah,
16.
it doesn't. It resets every time that someone else changes something on the turn order, so it didn't work while we were all rolling. But it should work now if people want to change theirs.
So at the same time as they are rushing towards you, Belandra and Talace, what are you doing?
Also, you need to reorder because Dawn got ahead of a couple people. At
There you
D4.
go.
There you go.
Okay. Well, let's see. Can't really see anything. I will just move a little bit forward so I can see when anybody pops here in this space where I can see, and she's gonna hold Eldritch Blast until an enemy pops their head where she can see it.
Seems reasonable.
And Balandra.
And Balandra.
Balandra will move up and cast Virtue on Mord. So you have 12 temporary hit points, but they only last a round.
It's
Okay.
reasonable.
Cool. That's a
The cultists come
cantrip.
hurling themselves
That's
down
a
the tunnel.
cantrip, yeah.
They actually sort of take flight as they run, leap, and sort of glide, moving towards you. But Valandra, what are you doing?
Valandra. Sacred
Sacred Flame. And say it again.
What?
Oh, sorry.
I just said do. There we go.
Oh, okay. I was like, what am I supposed to do? Dexterity 18. Roll it. No. He gonna take some damage. Valandra, anything else for you?
Nope.
You got it. Dawn.
I forget. Can you move then hold an action, or do you just hold a?
You can move and hold an action.
Does that include numing?
Numing is not an action, so yes, you can num.
So he's going to. Actually, he could num here, around the corner, and then peek around and Eldritch Blast at these guys.
Sure.
Zoom.
You got it. Go ahead and give me an attack roll for the first. The first one drops on the first attack. The second one drops. Nope, doesn't quite drop. Second one's still standing. He's made of stiffer stuff.
And he'll tuck back behind this corner, and we'll chill
Lean
here.
back. That's going to bring up some more of the cultists. They continue rushing forward. As they do, they are swinging scimitars. It doesn't seem they were attending ranged combat in a tunnel. Mord, what are you up to?
Well, Mord is going to move about 35 feet forward, which is about all he can do. Well, I guess he can get up into that corner of the tunnel. He is going to move right here. And that's going to be his turn.
You got it. Ruqiyo. Whoop.
So Dusk is actually rolled late and is right above Valandra, but should be going right now.
We'll put Dusk there. Dusk, what would you like to do?
I would like to. Well, I'm still on the heart, so I guess I will get off the heart for now. Just because she doesn't want to hurt the heart or risk the heart getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, she will just go and wait. These are 10-foot squares.
They're 10-foot squares.
Switch to the measurement tool.
Get up to Mord and Valandra, unless you knew, in which case you can be anywhere you damn well please.
Yeah, yeah. This can get there. This can get there without a problem.
A Tabaxi monk with the mobile feet.
Like, she can be anywhere she wants to be. She's everywhere at once.
14 key points, too. Like, you're just full and loaded.
Yeah.
It's
Quick,
great.
someone cast haste on Dusk.
Right?
Oh my god, please. That would be so funny.
That'd be amazing.
So, this is gonna Newm on over here. Go punchy punch, because why not?
Look for a scroll of haste just for Dusk. Oh my
Just
god.
does. Oh, I should have. I should have
Boots
just
of
made her
speed.
faster.
Found you boots of speed. What the heck?
Oh,
All right, so go ahead.
She wouldn't be able to fly.
Go ahead and start that punching event.
Okay.
The punching.
It is
Punching
Love it.
event.
A punching event.
Vent.
That is, of course, going to hit, and that is not quite enough. He's still standing. You
It's
get a little
cool.
more in him. Oh, he gets away! He's like, I'm gonna live! Oh, wait, she's a
And
monk!
then bonus
Oh
action.
no! And down he goes. That's 2 attacks on the bonus
Okay.
action. Dusk, anything else?
No, she's fine. She's
All
here.
right. Ruqiyo, now, what are you doing?
Muted. Alrighty. I have a very, very what's the word? Exciting turn.
Mm-hmm.
Stop that.
He's gonna dash.
Why can't I select
Hmm.
mode? I can't move Ruqiyo anymore.
How about
I can if you tell me where you want
now? Try now.
Did his name get autocorrect to riding horses?
I saw a riding horse.
I was
Oh,
changing the token ownership. Yes, I switched it to riding horse and back again.
Oh wow!
It's Nimur's pet name for him. So
Wow!
Oh god, he didn't hear that, right?
I mean,
didn't
he is a
hear that.
stallion, and he
Tell
needs to be
tell
free.
me that you knew that we knew that. Say
I
yes,
mean,
Ruqiyo.
Ruqiyo's the one who's like wild stallions. So, so Ruqiyo, what else are we doing this round aside from throwing embarrassment around?
Well, that was 60 feet, so that's all I could really do.
Alrighty. Joey, how about you?
Okay. 1, 2, 3, and I move down 3 squares, and can I like Scooby-Doo gang above dawn here?
They're 10-foot squares, so you can share a square. Though we're gonna avoid doing that for, ease of use. But if you want to shoot around that corner, we'll give him a +5 to his armor class, just because you gotta bend the bullet a little bit there.
Yeah, we'll hit that guy all the way in the back there.
Yeah, that's plenty. Actually, the first one did it, and the second one could polish off his friend if you wanted to make life easier on yourself.
We can downshift. That's fine.
Downshift. Yeah, you eliminate some more of the cultists. It's like maybe the combatants are in, the non-combatants are in here as compared to out amongst the fighters.
What? They don't have non-combatants. Don't you say that.
Don't
Nope,
say
they're
that.
all combatants. Every
They're
last
all
one of them.
combatants. So with that, you have done a good job, and we're gonna put away the turn order for the moment. A pack of guard drakes are gonna come rushing towards you, but with the setup that you have at this point, you're going to dispatch them fairly easily. They're not meant to guard against a full-scale incursion like has happened here. Mord, you notice away to the south and east from you some rather finely appointed sleeping rooms. It seems as though the higher-ranking members of the cult must sleep here. The chests are filled with finery, the robes of reasonable construction. But all the cultists seem to
sounds
The
be
bad.
greatest
Magical.
magical item of all, the robes of
robes of
reasonable construction.
I'm so glad that you were thinking the same thing I was thinking. I was like,
Oh, absolutely.
that is
this-
such a waste of enchantment. I love it.
I mean, sometimes,
It's so passable.
sometimes
I mean-
you just need.
They're basically clothes of mending.
This is why I can't talk out loud.
You guys,
What?
this is like what a normal person would dream of in magic items. No mending, no tearing, just durable everyday wear that will always be there.
And Ruqiyo's like explaining this as holding up the robe, and like you tear a seam, and the seam sort of puts itself back together, and there you go. But away to the east, one of the tunnels continues, and you can see it opening out, and in the distance you can hear the sound of battle coming back in from there. But away to the south and west, silence. South and east the same. Are you continuing in the tunnel or heading into the rooms?
tunnel.
Tunnel.
I think.
Unless, yeah, we're not here to get positive IDs on cultists. You're here to find the horde.
We can do that later.
Rob
Well,
Latchley's
no.
decided not to
Yeah.
wear her blue mask right now.
Good job.
Be like, I want to raid everything.
It's
Want
not yours
to
yet.
raid all the things. You continue down and around through the tunnel. You see another one of those beholder alerts. This one seems to be on high alert at the moment. As you come into range with it, it does let out one blast, striking at the nearest of you. However, again, the blast just hits you, wiggles a little bit, and falls limp as it chooses the wrong eye stalk to use, and you dispatch it reasonably effortlessly.
I mean, it happens.
It just sometimes
Oh,
things go the
Somehow.
wrong way.
Sometimes you're just not in the mood.
sorry about that.
The tunnels continue along to the south, winding its way. Eventually, you see another of the beholder alarms. This one, in passive mode, does not seem to see you. But as you draw closer, you can hear the noise of a fairly large number of cultists away to the west. You slow down a little bit, just kind of get your senses back to you, and as you're preparing, you hear the worst noise you have ever heard. It is a combination of the scream of thousands of people and the tearing of the world as something is ripped from one reality and placed into another.
Well, shit.
The whole mountain shakes as a enormous weight settles into it. Mord, your sense of stone goes bonkers for a second because this whole mountain just shifted like somebody put another mountain in it.
I'm writing out an emote. You can continue.
Okay. So as this all just kind of goes a little haywire for a second, you can hear the cultists are still going about their business. They haven't really changed gears. They're still running messages back and forth, conversing. So it doesn't seem like Tiamat has appeared, but something has definitely happened. What are you all doing?
Dawn, you want to join us down here?
I'm trying.
Mord, nice.
If yours is check where it gives you the thingy. Oh, I can move Edgar.
Oh, I got it. Where'd Edgar go? You touched him.
He
There
did-
he is.
He didn't move.
I got him. Go. Okay.
Whoop.
I love it. Thank you so much. We have a very poof Tabaxi mug on our hands. It's great. Super poof.
Super poof. All the fluff has just expanded.
Okay. All right, we gotta press on. We have no idea what's
Can
happening.
Mord tell a direction for the rumbling? Like, which way?
West.
Definitely west.
Okay, west. Into the
Let's go
blackness.
west.
We gotta do something about the squish thing. Maybe.
Stab?
So you know. So, are you stabbing?
Are we stabbing?
Yeah,
Why
we're stabbing.
wouldn't we? Yeah, we're stabbing.
Okay. So
Wait. Try walking past it. See what happens.
Walk up to it and stab it.
So-
If it dies, it makes a loud noise that lets people know we're here.
I don't think it's gonna be like, yeah, you passed my 3 brothers, but you're good. It's go on, left or right, whichever you want to do.
so as you snarkily, I think, stab,
Well, like, does it look any different than the others?
it looks the same. It's the
Cool.
eyeball pointing down.
Yep. And right as it settles on Kuhloe, she can be like, this one, I'm fucking.
Wait, wait, try walking past it. See what happens.
Okay.
Wait, wait, wait. Try walking past it. See what happens.
So Okay. Yes, the stab starts happening. And as you stab it, it starts making noise. The rest of you have your held actions and such go off, and you fairly quickly dispatch it. But
It makes a horrible noise and everyone's coming for us, right?
it makes a horrible noise, and everyone is coming for you.
Stop
Quick,
stabbing
hide
the
the
alarm
armor.
system!
Took us
think
seconds to
Chloe's
dispatch the other shit, so we're fine.
Chloe's getting mixed messages here.
She's
Some
getting
people are saying
antsy.
stab faster. Some people are saying
Oh,
don't
she's hearing
stab.
thousands of people, like, suffering and dying. Yeah, she's in stab mode. Like, we're going too slow for her.
That is very true. Thousands of people are suffering and dying. And some of them, as you round the corner, you can see being led off down a tunnel.
Which direction?
Down away to the west, behind this set of guards. So basically, as you came
This
out...
way?
hang on, I'm still positioning some people.
Nah. I'm just gonna close this distance.
No,
This
you're just
ridiculous
gonna
distance.
stay back there, you.
Stupid 10
Put my
feet squares.
people where they are.
Can't move that fast.
Cardio. So. Yes, being forced down the hallway, several prisoners with jobs who are about to have the final job, being led away. And I'm going to grab my sample folks here, because I'm not adding all these monstrosities to the turn order.
I mean, come on, they're people too.
There are a lot of people.
You said there are prisoners with jobs down here?
Right here.
Right
These
there.
people right there.
Oh, the hooded, previously evil icons are now people who... Okay, cool.
I mean,
We gotta be flexible here.
you want? They're I only have so many icons. So we're gonna crack open that turn order again. Would you like to re-roll, or shall we use the ones you have?
Let's just stay with the ones we have.
Stay with the ones you have. You got it.
I mean,
and
unless people who rolled low on their object, which is totally
I just
fair.
don't think it's gonna get much better for me, honestly. I could keep trying, but...
that's fine.
I feel you, Chloe. I feel you.
I just turned the wrong one on, but that's fine. And you. And Belandra and Talace, what would you like to do?
It's gonna move forward a little. And it upsets her that they're exactly 20 feet out of her reach. So she has to do something else. So she's gonna, in honor of her friend who is moving on, she's gonna blast him.
Oh no!
Wow.
It might actually be in honor of your friend who's moving on. That's a little better follow-up. And that was on the lead person right here.
Wow.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Back to back. Wow.
7
Gotta get
points
it
of
now. Gotta get it now.
7 points of forceful damage struck, but there you go. Belandra, what are we up to? Or Talace, any other action?
Oh yeah, it's Belandra's turn.
Okay, Belandra. Yep.
Yeah, it's Belandra's turn.
Yeah, Belandra's just gonna sacred flame the nearest guy.
That'd be that guy.
Yeah.
You got it. Dexterity saving throw from my dragon wing friend. No, 9 points of damage dealt.
Hey, if they're this dragony, does that qualify for my weapons
Ooh.
combined damage?
The guard drakes are. The humanoid dragon claws are not. So the ones that look like this with the horn on the nose, yes. The other ones just want to be dragons. Belandra.
We're gonna charge up,
Okay.
and we're gonna booming blade him.
22 is going to hit, and is that 33 immediate damage?
That is 33
No.
immediate damage.
Oh.
33 immediate damage is enough. Down he goes. Valandra, anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Dawn.
Dawn is going to scoot out so he can see what's going on. There.
And you've had enough time, your Neumes are back.
Okay. But
If you want to get right here-ish, you can reach the people over here.
he can reach fine.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
he's got a better range than any of us.
I mean, that's cool. That's cool, man. Just do your thing.
He just needs to be able to see them, and then they can die.
And then they just die.
So shooting for the one up front first.
Okay.
Blam, blam, blam.
Oh, that D4 came in handy that first time. That's 11. That's 11. That's the first one down.
I don't think that counts.
I'm sorry, yeah, that it's for ability checks only, so that shouldn't be for attacks.
Yeah, it
Oh,
changed it.
sorry. No
I'll
problem.
turn
So
that
the
off.
13 will miss, the 19 will hit, the 22 will hit, 11 and 12 points of damage will do it. One more cultist falls before the onslaught. Don't want anything else.
Nah, he'll chill here and watch what's going on.
Mord, what are we up to?
Well, Mord's taken his entire turn to move up towards Kuhloe, and that's about as far as he can get. And he's just kind of standing in front of that entrance to this cave right here.
Got it, and you can see them all grabbing scimitars and getting ready to rush. But Dusk, before that happens, what are you doing?
Okay, so they're aiming that way.
People are right here, just so you
Yeah.
know. We gotta get through these guys.
That's perfect because Dusk has that much movement. So let's just start with the ones immediately in front of us. Where's my attack? Here it is.
14's exactly what you need. 12 is not enough to knock him down, though. What are you doing next? 15 works, and 9 will do it.
Yeah, and then I can go for these. I say little guy, but he's probably big.
He's like a mastiff dragon, so he's fairly big.
Okay. Punch.
10 points of damage will hit, but this is a solid beastie, and it shakes it off. Dusk, anything else?
Can I grapple it?
That would be a full action unless you have some other
never
effect.
mind.
Okay.
That's just wondering.
All right. Ruqiyo.
To be fair, that would be an attack. It would be one attack, not a full action. But
Correct.
yeah.
That would be a full attack of your attacks.
Just don't want to these
Boop.
people.
And boop. Please go. And we're gonna center that right up the pathway here.
Very nice.
I am just not lined up with the map somehow.
We have a template that can go there?
Working on that one. That is a 20-foot square, and
No entrance until we are ready for you. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, so like those 6. Well, in the back squares there, yeah. Those
Like
9
that?
squares.
20.
It should be bigger, though.
Yeah, it
Well,
should be
no,
a
20 foot
3.
square because the map.
20. Oh,
Yeah.
because they're 10-foot squares, not. God.
Oh, got
oh
it.
wait, hang on. Is it radius or?
It is square.
Oh, it's a square. So a 20-foot square. Then right size, wrong shape. Sorry about that.
How could you?
I'm a bad person. Is basically what it is.
yeah.
So let's try that again. Boom, 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 boom.
But yep, Yes, please.
We'll just start drawing them all over the place because I forget how these things work. There we go. And right about there.
I like it.
Alrighty. Ruqiyo, anything else?
That's all I got.
All right. The drakes begin charging. Do-do-do-do-do-do. They are going to swarm in on Dusk. I'm going to drop them a little bit above, but they're actually occupying the same pace as that one as they start to surround and close in. Dusk, you're going to get 3 sets of Drake attacks. 1, 2, 3 bites. 1, 2, 3 tail slashes. What's your crazy armor class at now?
22.
22. So
One of those hit.
one of them
One
hit.
of those hits.
7 points of piercing damage from the Drake that was able to hit. Other Drake is rushing down the hall. And Joey, what are you up to?
Well, I mean, I want to like hit things, but like these are really long hallways, so I'm gonna move up 30 feet and then like shoot these 2 guys here. Well, I'm gonna shoot this guy after I move my hex at him,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna hopefully shoot that guy after this
All
first guy dies. That's how that works, right?
You get you call your home run. It's fine. That's never worked out bad for anyone.
That's not funny. I mean, it's not
I'm-
funny.
I'm
I mean, it's a lot funny.
That'll work though. Down he goes.
All right, and then we'll take off the hex, and then we'll see if the other one.
A 13 though.
No, that's
Not gonna
stupid.
do. Joey, anything
Wait,
else?
aren't you blessed? Is your bless in there?
No,
Uh,
the blast is long gone.
Yeah, Blessed
Okay.
wore off long ago.
That was a minute.
Nope, I'm good.
All right, that's gonna bring up the hordes. The black tentacles, 20-foot square in the ground. Okay, I'm gonna say that these 2, since they can fly, can get across them without trouble.
Legit.
So those 2 are gonna be fine. One of which
Are
Didn't
the
have-
ceiling still 10 feet?
ceiling's 10 feet. So they're doing a long jump, really, is what they're doing. And of the 2, one's going to take a swing. He's got his advantage. He's looking at Mord.
Wait, isn't that a
Mord-
20-foot cube then? Isn't it 20 feet high, like all the way up to the ceiling of Evard's?
Don't think so.
No, I
think it's
don't
the
think so.
floor.
Because it's
20
Oh.
foot
just on
square
the floor.
underground.
Where?
Ah.
Yeah. So it's
My
like it's like tentacles slapping around on the ground. These 2 can fly, so they can basically long jump it.
Yeah, sorry.
God, can you
Hey,
guys imagine
so-
at that point it's just like a gelatinous cube of tentacles?
That would also be terrifying. The others,
Hey.
however, can't do that. Good.
So before the one gets to me, I'm gonna take a reaction to hit him with an attack.
You certainly may.
Yeah.
Jacob, you made
Yeah.
the right choice.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
did. Yeah, I did. 18.
Oh, yeah. So,
so he can't close the distance.
he has a super bad day actually because he's flying through the air. You just like poke and he stops and he's like, momentum's what's keeping me aloft. And then down he goes. And then the tentacles are like blam, 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 blam. So he's dead. Is the
Yes!
Fly swatted him out of the air.
so that
Oh, I
happened.
love the
That's
message.
beautiful.
Oh, I
Um,
love that reaction. Oh my god.
The rest,
No, my
however, in the
momentum.
room are now scrambling to get ranged weapons. So they're dropping their scimitars, they're reaching around, they're grabbing short bows, they're re-equipping. They will be ready to go perhaps next round. But down the hallway,
Not them to all get within a 20-foot radius, though.
That's so nice of them. Yeah.
I mean,
they're all
Guys-
boxed up together.
look,
I
they're
know
trying.
you said to hold my spells, but I really don't know that I can resist this.
Okay,
I
so
don't
we're-
think you should.
So this one here is going to rush down. He's going to, we'll say he can't get there. This one's gonna start down here. These three are gonna make their run. Start running. Okay, and Kuhloe, what are you doing?
It's such a mess down here. Am I in melee with something alive?
You are. There's one directly to the south of you who's staring at his poor friend who's getting beaten to death by tentacles.
Oh, son of a bitch. Alright, fuck it.
Now's the time.
I
Beat 'em
mean,
up.
no, but it's such a far run to get up to Dusk, but alright. Fucking get out of my way.
The first one.
And that's what I get for talking.
Won't quite get
Fuck's
And
sake.
again, the talking is the problem. Kuhloe, anything else?
Yeah, I gotta go. Like, look, I don't fucking have time for this. And she'll move,
Hey.
take the attack of opportunity.
Okay, so as you go to move, the Dragon Wing will look at you and be like, please don't go. And he will swing his scimitar.
Hey,
He-
so I said I was next to Kuhloe, right?
You are next to Kuhloe. Oh dear. Oh wait, hang on. That's a reaction though, and I think you may have used yours.
No, it is not.
It is not. Oh, I see. Oh, that's not what I thought we were
What has-
talking about.
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage. He does have fanatical advantage, so he trades off disadvantage for advantage and swings like normal. A 15 is not gonna do.
Yeah.
She just gives him the finger gun. Or the finger bow, or whatever it's called now.
These
Finger crossbow.
weird statements that are happening. An eyeball slowly floats towards you. Just cruising along. Balandra and Talace, it is back to you. What are you up to?
All right. So everyone helpfully moved in, so this little boxy mess doesn't have to stop Talace from doing anything. Talking is a free action, right? Can she shout to these poor prisoners to duck into
Telepathic.
a room?
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Sure, you can yell at them.
She's just gonna be like, get it out of the line of fire!
And they listen to you and they just leap in opposite directions. Then they realize they're chained together and they sproing and then they work it out and go in the same direction.
All right, that'll work. Okay, and then she will. She's actually gonna go in the back. She's gonna target the guys in the back. She's gonna go for that one first.
Okay.
Oh,
And-
all works.
Blast his face, but it doesn't hit.
Oh,
him.
that's not gonna miss. That's not gonna hit.
That's
That'll hit. Oh, but only 3. Wait, how can it be only? Oh, that's right. You don't get the charisma. You're not that
Yeah.
kind.
Not a warlock.
Nah,
Yep. Sorry, that was me.
I'm pilfering from the warlocks rather than being an actual warlock.
Yeah,
Borrowing.
Dawn has taught practically all his sisters except Kuhloe something.
How to Eldritch Blast.
How to make a friend.
I mean, there are infernal contracts that are less complicated than this family relationship. Talace, Blasty Blast, didn't quite take him down. Anything else?
No, not right now. She's actually pretty safe since no one can actually move through her friend's spaces, even if they cross that nasty tentacle threshold. Yeah, she's good. I think Balandra's gonna go now.
Yeah, so Balandra will move up. Balandra's owl will take in the help action to give advantage. And Balandra will Booming Blade. 16?
16, and which one are we aiming at?
The only one that you can hit.
Yeah, the one.
Oh,
that
there. Oh,
was
sorry.
next to
Yep,
Kuhloe.
got it.
Yeah,
16 will hit. Wow, that's a lot of damage.
33.
Yep. And he is no longer standing there.
Booming Blade and the improved Divine Strike is a
Very
hell of a
nice.
combination.
This is why I made a
Balandra,
second one.
any other activity?
Not for Balandra. Nope.
Okay. Valandra, what are you up to?
Yes, Valandra cannot quite get into melee. But Dusk do okay. So, just a second. I look up thing. Sorry. Okay. Valandra will throw a hand axe at this guy.
Okay.
Which will include the divine strike, but will not include the booming blade.
Got it. That's a pretty good throw for a hand axe. That is 11 points of damage.
Non-magical, if it matters.
Does not, but thanks for saying it.
Yep.
And Valandra, anything else?
No, I think we're still serving things. They're not doing too much to us yet, so
Okay.
we're still saving.
Dawn.
Don thought about it, but he doesn't really want to pass the body wall just yet, so he's going to blast at these. Am I on the wrong tool? I think I'm on the wrong tool.
That is a pretty good wall, yeah.
Yeah, so gonna shoot at these two, or this guy first.
Okay.
These two guys in the back. The lamb. Is the first guy still standing?
Still standing. Just barely. Not anymore. Nope. All gone. And gone. And you can hear as more and more of the cultists are falling. They're starting to get desperate. They're like, should we? Is it time? I think they're gonna take us out. Dawn.
Hey,
Anything
now.
else?
No, he's paying attention to here because he's heard a whole bunch of voices down here.
Got it. Mord, what you thinking?
Using all 70 feet of movement to move right here.
Okay.
Also, in an attempt to be the attack that was supposed to hit Kuhloe should have been. I mean, it wouldn't have, but it's only when I'm raging that effect comes into play.
Gotcha. All right.
So.
Sounds good. Is the yellow your Oh, never mind. Gotcha. And anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Dusk. Surrounded by scaly kitties. What are you doing? I'm sorry, I'm playing to your weaknesses. That's not fair. Okay.
Handle.
It's like, no, I'm gonna feel sorry for them.
No, these are nasty beasties. They've got pieces of people in their teeth. These are not friendly kitties.
To be fair, a house cat will eat you if they don't have anything else to eat. And
This one would eat you even if it had a full food dish. I mean, this is just a mean-spirited animal.
Okay, so more punching. Gonna use some key points so I can do some extra strikes.
Okay.
So start with this one right directly to the west of her.
West, you got it. That'll hit. Still standing.
Oh.
Crunk. It'll hit. Still standing. That'll miss.
Okay.
That will hit. Is still standing.
Cool. And then, let's see how many points do I want to use? That's the question.
Save your stuff. You've got a whole bunch of powerhouses behind you too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just use the 1 point. Then I'm done.
You got it. So you're like, boom, 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 and you can see that it is soaking this up and just barely standing now, but it is still up. Ruqiyo, what are you up to?
I'm sorry, that was just way too beautiful, and there's no choice here, so...
That is a fireball, is it?
It is.
It hits all of them. Just targeted at the guy in the middle.
Yep. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, so we're gonna typewriter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Should be
10.
10.
1,
10. Sorry, I
5,
was
and
counting
4.
an extra circle there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Jesus.
You.
So 1,
Four.
2,
They just been
3.
doing like calisthenics in that room. What the
They
hell?
gotta get past they're working on getting past the floor problems, so
They were all about it.
they're
So
stretching.
They still take half, right?
they
They
do
still
take
take
half.
Which is not
Dead.
insignificant.
And your DC is a
Also,
18.
technically, that's 32 damage because of your last feat.
Oh, right. The elemental thingy.
Yeah, the 1 turns into a 2.
Ooh, nice.
And if any of them have resistances, that's ignored.
I don't think that they probably do, though.
Some of them did, but that I will note that. But that does leave 6 still alive inside the room. Ruqiyo,
In
anything
which
else?
case, I would like to move. If I could highlight. Yeah, there we go. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Maybe don't
I don't
do
think he
that.
can.
I don't think that's a good idea.
No, I want to get out of the arrow range.
Okay. So Ruqiyo tucks behind the
Is
little
that-
bump in the stone.
Okay, so
And-
if they cross through here, you are right there for beating up.
But
That's what I was saying.
There's a wall there. Like. in
They
order
do
to
not.
draw
They
that-
definitely do not look like they would survive trying to go through those tentacles. These are scorched and dying people. They are
Yeah.
just barely standing.
You're right. He could maybe get me.
But in the meanwhile, Drakes continue their assault. Dusk is going to get a trio of Drake attacks. The bites.
Quick question. Am I within 5 feet of the Drake on the top right?
You can be.
Okay, cool. Sentinel attack.
You certainly may.
I just need to check all of
Such a
those
rogue
numbers.
Combination.
And there was a big whiff on all the attack.
Tell me it's dead.
46 points of damage.
Yeah,
Oh,
that one doesn't. That's gone. Bye byes.
Mord is like, do not touch my friends!
So
I'm
only
sending a
two,
real strong message.
only 2 tail attacks coming at Dusk, which are both going to miss. I think these 2 guard drakes are probably like, I don't want to go, but they're still running forward. And where'd the other guard drake go? It was just that one. And these 2 coming out and running over. Joey, what are you up to?
I mean, like, yeah, those guys down there look like they got a bunch of tentacles, and those prisoners with jobs look like they could not be eaten. Maybe. Are these guys in the back moving around?
They are rushing towards you. Yes.
Okay. I mean, that one's in close with them, so maybe we can get lucky. I'll shoot this one.
Okay.
I'll move a hex onto it and shoot that guy.
Sure.
I just remembered something really silly.
28 will hit. 30 is a lot of damage, but it does not fall down yet.
Okay.
25 will
Sit
hit.
down.
Well, that's still a lot of damage. 21 more points of damage.
Correct.
It falls, but then it stands back up again, looking like it's got a sliver of life left to it.
1.
Joey,
You're so annoying. And then
anything
I'll move about
else?
30 feet, and that'll be that.
All right. So it is looking very desperate for those in this room. So they take hold of small crystal orbs on their necks. They crush them, and they gesture towards Balandra as they do so. This causes a burst of flame, lightning, and other such things to rush forth towards Balandra. Balandra is going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these incoming. Each of
Okay.
these will cost the cultist its life. So unless she falls down before it ends, we'll see what happens. So number 1, 19?
Nope.
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 Oh.
There we
Yeah.
go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 point. So 20 points. Balandra's full up on religious assistances too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So 10 points.
10 points. 2 more coming. Nope.
Nope.
22.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
So 12 more.
And with that, the cultists have unleashed their final attack. Unfortunately, didn't manage to do much with it. The others that are rushing forward.
I mean, they targeted the one person who can't be healed, so good on them for that.
I mean, they targeted the only person they could see. So there's that.
They
These.
could have attacked the horse.
Or the owl.
I kind of assumed Elmar was like not there, but I guess he could be.
No, Elmar's just been... I've been trying to move him up with Joey, but he's down that hall.
Got it. That's gonna be it. Chloe, what you doing?
Well, Elmar's gonna continue moving next to Joey, and then... pardon me. Trying to squeeze past everybody. Excuse me. Hey, you jerk.
Oh, look at that. Hey, you
Yeah.
jerk. Seems to work. That's 9, 17, 33, 43, 50 points of damage?
13 hit.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, 13. 13.
Okay.
13 will not hit. Sorry about that.
So just the 33.
Just the 33. Just
Yeah.
a measly little 33 points of
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah, Yeah, I should every time I crit, but I'm saving it up. She's not gonna
Yep.
use it.
Okay. Slowly floating down the hall comes a giant eyeball. And Balandra and Talace, what are you up to?
Alright, Talis is gonna move up because there are things coming closer. But she's gonna focus on... Yeah, she's gonna focus on these guys. Which one looks the worst?
The one to the north looks worse. Actually, they both look really bad.
Alright. One Eldritch Blast to the top guy.
Okay.
Nice.
That will definitely hit. That doesn't quite take it apart, though.
Okay, second one to the guy at the top.
That'll do.
And the third one to the other guy.
Not quite enough for him, though.
Balandra will move up and Sacred Flame.
DC 18 from the Guard Drake. Dexterity saving throw. So close, but yet so dead. Balandra, Talace, anything else? And then Valandra.
Dash. My turn.
Dash. All right. You are up in it. Dawn.
Dawn is gonna scoot up and shoot at the eyeball that's floating way in the back there.
Okay.
Good plan. Nice.
That's a lot of eyeball damage. 22, 26,
Sounds like.
39.
Yep.
And that is exactly the noise it makes, as it's sucking on its eye stalks in pain. Mord, what are you up to?
Mord is going to move up next to Valandra.
Mhm.
And that will be his turn.
Sounds good. Dusk.
Let's see. Who is left to punch? I could go forward and attack the other beastie that's there.
Good.
Let's do that. And punch.
And punch. And this was to the one to your west, correct?
That mark on it?
Yeah, the one with the mark. You punch it out of existence, though it's going to come sit over here with me because it's my turn counter. Dusk, anything else?
Okay. I still have 2 hits, so I'm gonna go for the one north of me now.
Sure. That'll hit. That'll also hit. It is still standing, though. These are sturdy boys.
They are. But Dusk will stay there.
It's good. Ruqiyo, you burned a lot of cultists, and now what are you going to do?
He's gonna go to Disney World.
Mm. Oh, you?
Mute.
Here, we
Kasey?
can't hear you.
No, crap.
Oh, now we can.
Okay.
There you go.
Just had to curse loud enough.
Ruqiyo, is
Get
not
it
the
on
time
stream.
for a bathroom break.
No, you totally missed the cheering. It was great. It was beautiful. And probably not being repeated. Yeah, you're still too far away.
Things will get closer, so it's okay just to move up a little bit.
I mean, if things are too far away, you can just like ready something.
That's true.
Although
Not
I
a full
guess
spell, only
actually,
a cantrip.
although I guess actually things probably aren't gonna get too much closer because we're kind of a wall up here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got a pretty strong offense-defense line going there.
I'm just gonna move up a little bit. Oh goodness.
Okay.
And support the team and go fight, win. You're doing great.
That's
fight,
within
win.
50 feet. Do you have anything that can do 50 feet?
Toll the dead.
That's after a double
Bonus
move.
action.
Oh,
That was a
gotcha.
dumb move.
That's a double move, guys.
All
No,
right.
you moved 30 feet. You were right here.
That was after I moved a little bit. I started here.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Got it. So on that, the guard drakes begin attacking. They've learned a bit of a lesson. You smack a dog on the nose with a rolled up newspaper once, it'll learn. You smack one to death with a huge polearm, it'll learn faster. This
Oh.
one aims for Mord. Guard drake, bite tail.
Okay.
Mord, 21 for 9?
21 will hit for 9.
All right, even with that shifty disadvantage. And this other one we're gonna pretend he can't quite get up there, so he will aim for the Dusk instead. Dusk, bite tail. 23 for 5. And then Joey.
Oh, hold on.
What?
That's a sentinel attack.
He's too far away.
Oh, he is too far away. Okay.
Yeah, he's the one on the other side.
Okay.
Joey, what are you up to?
Joey will look down the hallway and be like, "Oh, so we're shooting at floating heads now. Okay." And then he'll move his hex to a floaty head, and then shoot at the floaty head.
Shoot at the
Because that's
floaty
what
head.
Dawn's doing, and I trust Dawn's judgment on which things need to die first. In the variety of, I don't want my fur to melt. Let's not have melty fur.
Wow.
It's like Dawn's had a good teacher in this, so yeah, let's.
Poor Dawn.
41 points of damage sunk into the floaty head, but it is still floating. Joey, anything else?
Yep, that's 3 squares. We're good.
Okay, a little repositioning. That's going to bring up the dragon claws. They will rush forward. They are going to pile up in the mix. Mord, you will get a sentinel attack on one of them. They can all sort of crowd around you all, so they will be attacking Dusk.
Okay.
But
cool.
Go ahead and sentinel attack as the one approaches. See if
Yep.
he even gets to roll.
Give me a second. Sending a message.
He
Hold on.
survives.
I think I effed up there. Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'll re-roll that one.
Okay.
Well, you could just subtract 11 from that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Subtract. Wait. So 10
So
points of damage.
the first one should have been just
Yes.
15 damage as opposed to 26.
Just 15 damage. Okay. Got it. 15 damage struck. He is still alive. The attacks go off on Dusk. Dusk. 2 come in at you with advantage. Scimitar swinging. Number 1, 22 for 16. Number 2, 16 I don't think is going to do it. Then 2 regular attacks. 16 and an 8 are going to miss. Kuhloe. What you doing?
Hoofing it, and then hoofing a couple javelins at this guy.
Okay.
Trying to clear stuff out. Oh, I gotta update that. Yeah.
Content not available.
Hey, well, one of them's not available, right?
No, I mean that's a pretty good thing for your attack. Actually, I feel like.
I mean, it
Say
still
it.
moves, so.
And
if you
actually,
kill the enemy, it's not
that
available
will-
anymore.
that will drop the enemies. They will both fall. Womp womp. You're after the humans, correct?
Yeah, sure.
You, which?
Yep.
Sorry,
yep.
what-
Yep.
no,
I am.
no,
Yep. What you said that first thing, you got it.
First thing is what happened?
That
Okay.
one with the thing that disappeared from the
Thing?
screen.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. So Kuhloe, just for that honesty, the floating eye.
Yes.
Floating eye at you.
Yes.
And it says, 3 is not a 2. This might actually do something. Could I have a DC 14 Constitution saving throw as a ray of enervation strikes towards you?
Ooh.
What does that do?
It does.
That's a 2. That was too close. I don't like that.
It does 14 points of damage. It is necrotic damage. It does 28. You saved, so it does 14.
It does.
It is necrotic.
It's
7.
necrotic,
7.
yeah.
7.
Because of
Oh, that tickled. That was
Gave
so
frontline
cute.
fighters.
So there we go. Balandra and Talace. What are you up to?
Alrighty. Place will move up a little bit.
Balandra will. Oh no, that's too far. Will double move there, and will throw a healing word towards Kuhloe.
Okay.
I've only lost 7, but I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
you've only lost.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sorry.
That's
I-
okay.
Never mind.
Does anybody else
It-
need?
I said that, but I was looking at the. No. We'll go towards Dusk.
It looked like a bigger number.
Yeah. Dusk, you can heal 11.
And then action.
Action was a dash.
The action was a dash. Bonus action healing word. And then
Yep.
Talace.
She's gonna do this guy first.
Okay. Hitting a scratch. Hitting a bigger scratch. Hitting an even tinier scratch.
Kitty scratch.
Just a little scratch.
It counts. Every
It does.
counts.
Any bonus action or movement for you?
She already moved.
All right, Valandra. What do we got?
Yeah, we'll just we will green flame blade.
Ooh, okay.
Since there's actually actually
They are
the
next
guard-
to each other. Yes.
Okay. 10-foot squares. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, we'll consider it next to each other. 16, and that does 24 to the first one.
Yep,
Still intact. 8 points
And-
to the other one.
correct.
Still intact. And anything else?
Nope. We're good.
You got it. Dawn. How about it?
Dawn is going to just try to keep up with everybody and keep firing at the big eyeball.
Keep firing at that big eyeball. Let's see it. 22 for 15. Whoa, slow down! Still standing. Still standing. Still floating. It is still a floating eyeball.
Barely.
I mean, it looked like it should have fell down on the first one, but it just kept floating, regardless of the holes and the lack of the levitation spell. Anything else?
Nope. He's getting mad at it.
Okay.
He's got that like fluffed up like angry cat like ridge going on down the back of his head.
So Dusk is like floofed all over, but you're just like floofed in a mohawk.
Yes. Have you
Got
seen
it.
like angry cats and that like ridge that they get when they're angry?
Yep. Mord, what are we doing?
Well, I think I'm gonna send a message.
Okay.
The one that was attacking me.
Sure. That message is sent and received.
Did it take it down?
Certainly did.
Okay, cool. Going for the one next to Dusk.
Certainly may. 16 for 22. That'll hit. Still standing, though.
Okay, and then the follow-up.
That'll make it go away.
Cool.
Womp.
I will move. Right about. I'll just move right here, I guess.
Okay. As you step up, you can see those two prisoners are huddled against the corner, just trying to stay out of sight, out of line of fire. Dusk, what are you doing?
Let's see who is left. To
Just the big floaty eye.
And there's a guy behind
May as
him.
well just you.
Oh yeah, him up there.
Go hit the. Oh well. Yeah, let's just go for the floaty eye first. Boop. And where's my attack? Here it is. Does it turn? Does it hit the eye?
I
So it
assume
took
28
yeah,
hits.
sorry, it took a second to get to me. It is through now. That is a hit. It will make it. It will not make its Constitution saving throw, and you pop it. You get eyeball goo all over.
Ew! Just cute Dust just trying to shake it off her fur. That's disgusting.
You're goopy.
Dusk, what else would you like to do, if anything?
If you're
I
nooming,
don't-
you can reach the other guy.
I can? Okay.
Because
Then
you're
let's do it, because I haven't healed in a
ridiculous.
while. Yeah! Okay, cool, because I have 2 more
Yeah.
punches left.
Dusk, as you
Less than
sprint,
120 feet.
as you sprint up, you can see additional rooms branch off of this hallway. Inside,
Oh my
these
goodness.
two are not there, but a good 40 or so prisoners are shackled to the walls. Dusk, punchy punch that hits. Still standing though.
Took me 1 more.
That is enough, and with that, he falls, clearing the area of enemies. We will drop out of turn order for the moment. The prisoners are shackled, and you can see where they've been being led away from this room far to the north. There's a long tunnel leading in that direction. Actually, I can open up almost all this now. Whoop. You pop a few more beholder sentries, but you discover that this has been the prisoner holding pens, as well as the area where many of the lower ranked cultists have been residing. In these are stored many possessions taken from the commoners, and you can see that they've been being marched out. The majority were taken out early in the morning, out through the tunnels, up and around. They must have been packed in here like sardines for as many as you see, and you can see where they've been lined up, sat against the walls. The refuse and the detritus is just disgusting. But a few have been carried away to the west and north down a long tunnel, at the very end of which you can see a small amount of light.
Can Talice try and take the chains off of these guys?
Sure, absolutely. You do a quick search about. You find the keys that the cultist had on them. You're able to start unlocking those. You may get fancy and pick a few that are a little stuck. but in short order, they are all free, and they thank you profusely. They're like, I didn't think we'd be rescued. So many have been taken away to be sacrificed. I thought it was all over. Thank you.
You're not free yet.
Yeah.
Also, we're really not rescuing you guys. We're just trying to make it so you don't get sacrificed. There's a big difference between the two.
Yeah,
Chloe.
we can't escort you. We can't escort you out, but I suggest you dress yourselves up as cultists to get not recaptured.
Okay.
Don't go out this door because we didn't go that way.
Yeah.
Go the way that we went.
Yeah, go north to the area that's up here.
Follow the trail of dead eyeballs.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
don't stop at the demon steeds. They're not friendly. Don't get close to them.
They've been following us. I'm
They're
pretty-
technically with us.
Yeah.
Are
yeah,
they?
They're
I
up
thought they
with,
left them
they're,
at the start. Okay,
yeah,
No.
they're trailing along.
that's terrifying.
No, they're just behind all of us.
Well, I mean, they're behind all of you, and every time you turn away, they eat a person. And then every time you look back, there's just one less corpse there, and then you look away, and there's one less corpse, and
You know,
they're
it's
just
whatever.
yeah, they're
They're
like,
cleaning up. It's fine.
I don't know what happened. He got up and walked away.
They get a
So-
reward.
So
There was one less guy.
you give this plan to the to them, and I feel like this would be maybe a deception or something along those lines, or a disguise as you help them get set up as cultists and send them out to enact this plan. Who would like to take point on disguising or coaching them in the deceptions that they would need?
Probably the person who is proficient in disguise.
I was gonna say the person that did our makeup.
I mean, could be.
That would
let's
be me.
let's see a roll on that, please.
Okay.
Can I
I've got a
save?
15 if you want it.
Can
No,
Dawn help
no,
with
no,
deception?
No,
Deception.
save the portent.
This is a skill check, isn't it?
Yep.
It is.
It is, so I get a D4 to this as well.
You
Dawn
do.
can help while coaching them on how to act with deception.
Which gives me advantage. Yay!
There we go. Okay. Let's see. That's pretty good. Let's see a D4. 27. You disguise them enough that they should be able to get to somewhere safe and hole up, avoiding the notice of the cult. For now.
Really don't like
Thank you.
They've
Or
got
directions.
weapons they can pick up off the bodies too.
Yep.
It
Like,
seems.
this is the best chance that we can give them, and we warn them that there is
Yeah.
fighting outside.
Certainly do. So at that point, you make your way down the tunnel and eventually emerge into what must be the base of the caldera. You look up and you can see above you sort of a sheen in the air where some magical spell would be blocking sight in, but you can see out of it. Those of you who are familiar with such things might recognize a private sanctum cast on a massive scale, or multiple castings of it. It would protect the area inside from scrying and from eavesdropping, as well as eyes. But more abruptly noticeable directly in front of you are massive piles of draconic bones, huge in size, many times longer than a person is tall, some of them. Skeletal remains scattered all about. They don't look like they lay where they fell, though. They look like they've been thrown about recently, and as you look towards what would be the center of the caldera, you see rising up from what would once have been a smooth base, huge spires of rock, bent at odd angles, and made of stone not natural to this world. Mord, you look at it immediately and you're like, that is straight out of hell. A massive fortress, 5-spired. It seems that Tiamat's home, her castle and temple, has been summoned from the realms of hell for her to be ready for her arrival. You can hear the sounds of chanting coming from within, the intonation of rituals and spells, and that is where we will pick up next week. as you make your way into the Temple of Tiamat to deal with the 10 wizards and Rathmodar within, working frantically to complete their ritual. I hope everybody's having fun.
Yep, lots of fun.
That's amazing.
What the heck?
Thank you for that. That was great.
Yeah, if anyone's down hit points, now's the time for healing potions.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Where we will be picking up, let me just make sure I can flip here. And I will flip to the new map to give us a chance to look at it and ask questions, because it's a little bit complicated.
Interesting.
That loading time, though.
Yeah, it's a biggie. Alright, that's just gonna confuse the heck out of me. Gonna get rid of that picture. We're gonna pull this picture over here.
What's this stuff over here? That looks friendly. All this stuff on this side.
All that stuff?
Yeah, all this stuff
Which
over
stuff?
here. This stuff on the side here looks real friendly.
What's that? I don't know. Could be anything.
My God, this map is enormous. What the hell?
This is a biggie map. 5-foot squares. So it is a massive map, but at least they get us to a 5-foot. No, wait. Why are you not doing 5-foot squares? This is. Oh, you.
Does the map get bigger?
Hang on.
The grid is 5 foot.
No, it's. All right.
Yeah, the grid is 5 feet.
Oh God, I'm getting dizzy.
Okay. Alright,
Like
let's
if you
again.
zoom in and look at the grid, like the Roll20 grid is 5 feet.
The Roll20 grid was 5 feet, but it was measuring as 10 because occasionally it does that to me. It should now be fixed. So.
More arrows. More
Or
arrows.
all the arrows.
Yep.
All the arrows. All right. So you will be entering from this door up here.
I'm
Door there.
second.
Door up to the north.
Is this
Okay.
one of those maps that are facing whatever way they felt
It-
like?
So this is the door. I'm gonna call this north. We're just gonna go with it. Okay.
Cool.
There are 5 major spikes in this. So there's a spike here. There's a spike here. There's a spike here. There's a spike here. And there's a spike here. Each spike goes up several feet, many feet. And then the central spike also goes up. Each of these spikes has a color, like red, blue, white, green, black. And I will get those labeled so that's super clear, but we're going to call it north, northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest, because if I try colors, I'm going to fuck it up. Okay? There are 5 wizards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a 6th one in the middle. Whee! Look at the stars. So they are all going to be chanting and casting spells and doing things and being enemies. So it is a multi-layer map. If you wish to fly up to be effectively on the 2nd floor or effectively on the 3rd floor, there's no actual floors. It's just you can move up or down a layer if you have the ability to fly. Hint, some of the wizards have the ability to fly. So if they're up here like this,
That means they're floating.
that means they're floating up in that area. If they're down here like this, it means they're on the floor in that area. And that's kind of how we'll play that out. Just wanted to give you the map introduction because, and there we go. So, of course, shenanigans are going to happen once we get in here. We're going to find all about that next week. And so, I will prep for that. Questions, comments, concerns, etc.
Yay!
Yeah.
Everybody roll your healing potions.
Yes, everyone use healing potions.
Shit's about to get real.
Except
Unimaginably
It's a
happy
wizard, I took
about
no damage.
the heart.
I am A-okay.
Say it again, Dusk. Or
I'm
yeah.
just still unimaginably happy about the heart being okay and like well and safe.
You guys did so much stuff. I tried so hard to cherry pick some of the good stuff out of it, and I was like, I want to fit so much in, but just
Chloe's
like
gonna keep
every episode was so much stuff.
keep her mouth shut about Dusk riding the heart into the battle of Tiamat. Oh, I'm so glad he's alive.
So glad he's alive. Now let's ride to Tiamat.
So, I mean, to be fair, he's a Fae spirit, so even if killed, he's just going to disappear and return to the Fae. But, you know, he's got that going
He's
for him.
free now.
Yeah, it's
so he
easy
can
and painless.
Go where he wants.
That's true. He was freed from the eternal cycle of hunting and death, which was otherwise his lot in life. But a little disappointed we didn't have a wedding ceremony early on, but you know.
What's going on there?
If you had gotten married, I could have gotten you a +2 to your AC.
I threw it out there. I'm like, you know, I see
Not
ceremonies
worth it.
happening. Why not, you know?
If I wanted a shotgun wedding, I'm sure there'd be someone who doesn't give off like the vibe of like a serpent and who will eat me alive.
She's a very respectable lady.
Well, she snuck into his room at night.
That's what
Vibes,
respectable
actually,
ladies do. I
Like,
mean,
I think a knock would have worked better. Like, hey,
how do you knock on a tent? It's just like, woof, woof, woof.
excuse me, can I come
Like,
in?
Wait, she was really there? I was convinced it was a hallucination or like a dream sending.
I
No,
mean,
she totally like crawled into your tent and
Yep.
hovered over you.
I agree. My
like that.
tent whatever she wants. Great.
I mean, maybe there's the seeds of an adventure in there for you. Who knows? But
That was a gross pun.
what? No, what?
It's gross. And on that note, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Night.
Night. Thanks, everybody.